I'm coming from the outside in, not the helping out the
Hmm.
tools out. I brought in a colleague that has more experience than I do. We ran into a pickle, and that's where I was coming in going, oh my goodness, how do I work this out where I didn't know like you're supposed to dust off the prep work. It had to do with the prep work. I don't want to get into the details, but it's all in the prep work and how to know how to discuss that with my painters. There's just certain aspects of these older, just the prep work, like taking off the caulking. We had one situation where I'm like, did you just put caulking over the old caulking? Gross, it looks awful. Type of things like that. And it's just that kind of stuff right now where I'm running into just those kind of areas where I miss a beat. Just say, this is it, this is my expectation of the prep work. And then go from there. But I don't know that. And so that I'm like, who do I watch? Who do I go see to be able to have that language to be able to explain to them? This is my expectation, or have that in the SOP or whatever I need to have.
Can I throw my 2 cents in quickly, or Steve, do you normally?
Please, no, hit it.
Okay, I'm trying to find my way around the group with you guys.
Hmm.
So yeah, I did something a while back, which a while back is relatively speaking, but on all of my initial estimate meetings with clients, I use the old PDC, and this is not going to solve all those problems, but I use the old PDCA standards on preparation levels. So I have in my estimate the basic degree of surface degradation, but I don't use all of the specific terminology that's in the PDCA guidelines, but I'll go through like level 0 is a sound surface, level 1 is slightly deteriorated, but I do it in more layman's terms for the customers. So we agree upon, let's say we're doing 3-bedroom repaint and interior. We're all agreeing that the current condition is whatever it is. We're spelling that out. So some of them I'll just go with a standard wear and tear, but it'll be level 1. And then that corresponds to a preparation level, which is also according to PDCA standards. And I have this little book, my field production guidebook that I always use. And then on that estimate, it lays out exactly what we're doing. So for level 2, we're filling nail holes, we're sanding and feathering the sanding. Miner's existing profile will still exist. We go through that in detail, again, in terms that the customer can understand. And then when I translate that to our crews, they have specific instructions in terms of the expectation on the drywall finishing, for example, and then I'll add notes on the caulking. And that kind of goes back to what Daryl was saying with the details that you're giving to the crew, and the details roll back to your initial conversation with the client. So you have the opportunity for clients to see things that they thought were going to be done that weren't, which sometimes it's fair and sometimes it's not. And then you have the crews knowing exactly what your expectations are. Then going further than that, you have a work order that has the number of hours that you're scoping out for drywall prep to get to that level of finish, which is where that may be a little bit trickier for you. Sometimes it's still tricky for me because that may be subjective to a certain extent, as in I may see that as a 5-hour prep in that room where our crews are going to always probably want to see it longer than the way that we see it. We're always going to want to see it shorter. So there's that gap. But that's been tremendous for me. My final walkthroughs are there's never an issue at this point in time because of that.
That was wonderful. And where do I get can I grab your little book? Can I see
Hmm.
it?
Yeah, this is looks kind of old school, but this is you can get this on I think on the PCA's standards somewhere they have a document from the on the PCA if you remember you can get that, but I can share this if anyone's interested. But it's a really short, brief section on surface preparation that I felt like went a long way when I had a different mindset around what I was trying to achieve.
That's what,
That's
yeah, that's going to be gold. That's actually something that I need because that's something I'm trying to get well versed even on my estimates. And I hate just coming in there winging it. Sometimes that's how I feel. And I'm generating, but I'm just like, okay, we talked about when we were in the estimating class, confidence. And so that's where my confidence can shy down because I'm like,
hmm.
yeah, and then they're like, huh? I'm like, yeah, we're gonna do like that. So I still, and I'm not, I want to be like, just like you mentioned, just what you said. I was like, oh my gosh, I want to sound like that when I'm on the job. But, and I can imagine I could win better because you could see I noticed that I'm losing estimates on some jobs that I would really like to have, but because the other painter that came in and that when I've been able to call back and go, we may have some feedback and some of what you just mentioned, some of those details were lacking. And so they could tell, and that's where I lose out. And I was like, okay, I want to get better and strengthen that area.
Yeah. Jim Rohn said it best. He said, "Don't wish things were easier, wish you were better."
Hmm.
That is one of the biggest things Jim Rohn has ever said that has taken me to heart because If it was easy, they'd all be doing it. So we want to be better and bigger than we are right now. And so that's been my biggest thing with that is just if I lose a job, I want to learn why did I lose that job? Because there's always a reason and it's almost never money. If I lost a job, and they say it was money, it's almost never money. It's because I didn't show the value. I wasn't confident, didn't slow down on my presentation or whatever. It's almost never money, even though I'm a lot higher. But I just always want to make myself better.
Right on. Very good. Thank you, Daryl. Charlie, that was fantastic.